So the question is that what will happen if two infinitely long current carrying conductors are placed in case 1 and case 2. So what I will try to analyze, this question is asked, but the standard in which the question is asked is such standard where much prior learning has taken place in different contexts. Therefore, complete unlearning may not be possible, but still the purpose of asking the question, that, listen very carefully once again, that in one case, in which case and why and how I will come to that, here based on the prior information you will be answering that the conductors will attract each other or they will repel each other. What I wanted to extract from you, whether what you have learnt differently about a current carrying conductor experiencing a force in magnetic field, whether that is an independent learning or that is the corollary of Biot-Savart law. काय म्हणतो लक्षात येते का? पूर्वी तुम्ही बरंच काही शिकलाय त्यामुळे तुम्हाला बरंच काहीतरी माहिती आहे. तर पूर्वी बरंच शिकल्यातली एक गोष्ट आणि दुसरी गोष्ट, तर दुसरी गोष्ट ही एक इंडिपेंडेंट आहे की पहिली आहे म्हणून दुसरी आहे. In some, say, you might have in employability skill course, you might have come across the questions statement A and statement B. Statement A, statement B, both are true, both are false, one is true and false. If both are true, A is true and B is true, and A is the reason for B, or A is true and B is true, but A is not a reason for B. Student studies in the semester, student performs well in the examination. Statement A and statement B, both are true, but whether first is reason for the other or may not be, both are maybe independent things, right? When he studies, he gets good marks. When he observes that somebody else also got good marks, he comes to a conclusion that yes, I studied, but I got good marks, but study was not the reason of good marks. So here Biot-Savart law and force experience, is it related? Yes or no now? Can you answer? Means without knowing the expression for force experienced by a current carrier, actually the definition is for force experienced per unit length. Force experienced per unit length by current carrying conductor in magnetic field. That is the scenario. Whether that can be derived by you only based on Biot-Savart law. Me again, one more thing. Coulomb's law and Biot-Savart law, both you have learned. What you are doing? Whether based means a student who has done extremely well, he is studying daily, revising daily, rough fare and all that, attending all the tutorials on Coulomb's law. No way he would be able to think of Biot-Savart law, because it is different. Based on Coulomb means Biot-Savart law is not a corollary, not a logical follow-up of Coulomb's law. Like that now, whether force experienced by a conductor is a logical follow-up of Coulomb Biot-Savart law? Yes or no? If yes, how?
Biot-Savart law gives the magnetic field
current carrying conductor.
So the force is caused by the magnetic field. So
Which force?
the force experienced by the other conductor due to current carrying conductor.
Now, let us try to, I hope that everybody of you, to what extent this discussion is hectic, discussion useful or otherwise, I don't know, but at least everything in the world is not to be done for use. So beyond use also, what we can say that your intellectual rigor is something which must be addressed. So Coulomb's law started with what? Started with point charge, and then listen very carefully. In Coulomb's law, in Coulomb's law, you defined electric field or not? In Coulomb's, when one thing that let us now ignore that Q can't be there, let us not go into that dissection. Otherwise, everything will end up in, we will be entering into a black hole. So Coulomb's law, it started 2 point charges of Q1 and Q2 separated by a distance r experience force. Well, are you able to understand now? It did not talk about field. In Coulomb's law, what is the difference? Biot-Savart law and Coulomb's law. Then force experienced by unit positive charge was taken as defined as electric field. Is it right? So what it is? F is equal to Q1 Q2 upon 1 upon 4. Listen again, I am repeating. मी सारखं रिपीट करतो म्हणजे काही जास्त डोक्यात जायचं नाही, पण एक सवय म्हणून होतं ते. F is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 upon R square. It is F. म्हणजे आता Coulomb's law मध्ये forces define केला आहे. Like that, when we discuss Biot-Savart law, the word force was never uttered. Or was it uttered? No. Is it right? What Biot-Savart law stated that a current carrying conductor results into a magnetic field. A current carrying conductor results into a magnetic field. Then that's all. So we consider a situation that at the midpoint, what will happen? Like this. Is it okay? B or H. H because of this would be inside. I upon 2 pi d by 2. It is I upon pi. Right? And because of this, outwards. So on a line which is exactly at the middle, there will be no magnetic field. Is it right? Is it okay? Here what happened? It will be reinforced. जे ह्या क्रमांकावर ह्या दिशेला असेल आणि ह्या क्रमांकावर ह्या दिशेला असेल वाढेल at all points. Now here tell me now how the force has come into picture. मी काहीतरी असं होतंय का की अगदीच काहीतरी इरिलेव्हंट बोलतोय मी? How whether force has come into picture? Yes or no? No. Then Then
that statement will be also true. So that's why parts of the magnetic field एकदा induce झाली कशी करून की force हा experience होणार आहे.
why force? What about what? Why means in Coulomb's law we started the means, again I repeat, number one, there is no magnetic unipole, or we had not gone for the concept of ferromagnetism. Let us hypothetically consider a world, a universe in which ferromagnetic materials do not exist. Even in the absence of ferromagnetic material, magnetism survives. Are you getting me? मी काही असं मी बोलतोय लक्षात आहे ना? शाळेत आपण काय शिकतो? मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड पहिल्यांदा शिकतो आपण मॅग्नेट लोहचुंबक घेऊ. त्यामुळं मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड वेगळं आणि इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड, ॲक्च्युली आपण इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड तेव्हा शिकत नाही, इलेक्ट्रिक करंट शिकतो. म्हणजे इलेक्ट्रिसिटी आणि मॅग्नेटिझम असे जे आपल्याला वेगळे वाटत होते तसेच ओरस्टेडलाही वाटत होते आणि ॲक्सिडेंटली ती निडल हल्ल्यावर त्यानं ठरवून केलं नाही. ॲक्सिडेंटली निडल हल्ल्यावर त्यानं तो प्रयत्न केला. दॅट इज डिफरंट कॉन्टेक्स्ट. बट नाव द क्वेश्चन इज एव्हरीथिंग रिलेटेड टू मॅग्नेटिझम सिन्स, म्हणजे जसं शाळेमध्ये आपण झिरो शिकतो आणि कॉलेजमध्ये किंवा ज्युनियर कॉलेज इन्फिनिटी शिकतो, आम्ही गोंधळ होतो, तसं मॅग्नेटिझम शी रिलेटेड सगळ्या गोष्टी आपण लोहचुंबक हा बेस धरतो. whereas even if that is not there, still a current carrying conductor means actually current carrying conductor produces something, but the magnetic try to understand what I mean. I'm trying my level best. Let us again be in a hypothetical world where there is no ferromagnetic material. In that, the electrostatics is defined. Then why this Biot-Savart law? Why this Biot-Savart law? What is how will you deal magnetic field? Now we say magnetic needle. Again, when we say magnetic needle, it requires ferromagnetic material. So, when Coulomb's law was defined, Gauss' law was defined, why there was need to define a separate magnetic field? Electric charge, Coulomb's law, Gauss' law, everything was based on, again, electric charge. If we again go deeper, it's also a postulate hypothetical entity. मग इलेक्ट्रिक चार्ज ही एकदा आपण हायपोथेटिकल एंटिटी अज्यूम केल्यावर त्याच्यावर आधारित इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड, इलेक्ट्रिक फ्लक्स हे सगळं डिफाईन केल्यावर हा नवीन बायट-सॅवर्ट लॉची गरज काय? Think in a very broader context. Let us think in some हेल्थ रिलेटेड कन्सिडरेशन्स. काहीतरी आपण एक यू आर ए नोव्हिस लर्निंग मेडिकल फील्ड, some diseases you know, you observe something, that observation maps to disease 1. You observe something, that observation maps to disease 2. You observe some combination of both, you say that to some extent both are there. But again, when you come across a patient who tells you something which is an indicator of neither disease 1 nor disease 2. मला कसं तरी होतंय, मला कसं तरी होतंय, याचं तुम्ही निदान कसं करणार? So an indicator of the defined diseases, when that dictionary, that library is there, and you come across a patient who gives you a different indication, that cannot be any kind of, I think linear algebra you must have forgotten to a large extent. When that cannot be defined as linear combination of existing diseases, that leads to definition of another dimension, another disease. लक्षात आलं का? Some kind of indication is mapped either to disease 1 or to disease 2, or both in some proportion, linear combination. But you are not feeling well, but the indications are such that those are not getting mapped to either of the known or any linear combination of them. Therefore, there is a need to define absolutely new one. This maps a disease 3. So like that, means which sense, आता मला कसं होतं, मला काहीतरी भास होतो, आपण जेव्हा म्हणतो भास होतो म्हणजे मला काहीतरी सेन्सेशन येत आहे, कशाला माहित नाही. सो आता त्यामध्ये पण बऱ्याचदा एकमेकांना तुला काहीतरी वेट लागलंय किंवा तू काहीतरी हे करतोय, मला येत नाही आहे, तर माझ्याकडे सेन्सर नाही आहे म्हणून मला येत नाही. सो लाईक दॅट हिअर देयर वॉज ए, when everything was stationary, everything was described by using all laws of electrostatics, E, then V, D and rho. Are you getting me? E, D, V and rho were fully describing every happening when everything was stationary. But the moment at which things started moving, some kind of phenomenon which cannot be described by all these four. Therefore, something as H. So, a current carrying conductor means not a single charge, moving charge. A train of moving charges created an effect which cannot be described by E, D, rho and V, that needed a altogether new definition of magnetic field H. This is up to this now. So you further continue on thinking with the Biot-Savart law and force experienced by the conductors as described. They are related or they are independent.